To properly assemble Fastite joints and realize the maximum speed and ease of assembly, the following instructions should be followed. With clean rags, brushes, or other tools, thoroughly clean the socket and spigot end of the pipe being assembled, removing mud, gravel, or any other material that might cause the front of the gasket to protrude into the path of the spigot. Next, wipe the gasket clean. After flexing one or more loops, insert the gasket into the gasket recess of the socket with the large sealing end of the gasket toward the rear of the socket and the hard portion in the narrow groove. Press the gasket into the corresponding socket recesses so that the gasket is seated completely and uniformly in the socket grooves. Be sure no gasket loops or bulges protrude into the path of the entering spigot, and that there are no rocks, dirt, or other debris in the recess that would cause the gasket to protrude into the path of the entering spigot. In extremely cold conditions, make sure gaskets are warmed before installing. With a clean brush, apply a liberal amount of Fastite lubricant completely over the exposed inner surface of the gasket after it is placed in the socket. Also, apply lubricant completely over the spigot end of the pipe, spigot end taper or radius, and the outer surface of the pipe spigot up to the assembly stripe. Use only lubricant supplied by American. For underwater or very wet conditions, special American underwater lubricant is recommended and available upon request. Do not allow the lubricated spigot end of the pipe to contact the ground during joint assembly. Center the spigot into the installed gasket so it makes firm and even contact with the inner surface of the gasket. Any of the following contractor-proven assembly methods can now be used to complete the Fastite joint assembly. To assemble smaller diameter American Fastite pipe, it is common to use a spade or crowbar. This method consists of centering the lubricated end of the entering pipe in the gasket and then pushing against the bell face of the entering pipe with a spade or crowbar driven into the ground in front of the bell face. The most frequently used assembly method is to use a sling and backhoe to pull the pipes together, or pushing the pipes together with a backhoe or bulldozer. To pull the pipes together, center the end of the entering pipe in the gasket as the pipe to be assembled is suspended from a backhoe. The entering pipe is then pulled into the adjoining socket with the pipe sling by moving the backhoe arm or rotating the bucket toward the previously assembled pipe. To push medium and large diameter pipes together, place the backhoe bucket against the bell face of the entering pipe and push it into the socket. When pushing against the bell face, care should be taken to avoid concentrated contact areas and possible damage to the pipe bells or spigots. Wood braces between the backhoe bucket and the pipe are very effective in preventing damage. After completing the assembly, a thin feeler gauge should be passed between the bell and spigot all around the joint to confirm correct gasket placement. Any joint with apparent or suspected problems should be disassembled and corrected. For example, if assembly is very difficult or the stripe remains exposed outside the bell, it may indicate a dislodged gasket due to improper cleaning, gasket insertion, spigot placement, lubrication, etc. In these cases, disassembly and correction would be necessary. In larger pipes, it is possible to view the gasket position during joint assembly from inside the pipe. As a rule of thumb, American Fastite joint pipe generally requires an assembly force of about 100 to 300 pounds per inch of pipe diameter. For example, a 12-inch pipe might require about 1,200 pounds of assembly force. Although these are the most common methods of pipe assembly, there are other ways to assemble American Fastite joints. For details on optimal installation methods and tools, call American's Customer Service Department at 1-800-442-ADIP or contact your American sales engineer for assistance.